Some people just can't mind their own business, especially when they're part of an HOA. Richard moved into a new neighborhood, excited for a fresh start. But Karen, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, had other plans. It started one morning while Richard and his fiancée, Katie, were prepping for a road trip with their service dog, Shep. Richard picked up after Shep and tossed it in the trash. No big deal, right?
Your dog must be on a leash, and the leash must be in your hand. It's the law. I'll call the police on you.
Did you even look at my dog before you started yelling?
Karen ignored him and kept screaming. Richard repeated the question 3 more times, raising his voice slightly. Finally, he snapped.
If you took 2 seconds to look, you'd see my dog is sitting on a leash, in my fiancé's hand.
Karen's face turned bright red with embarrassment. She stormed off, but Richard knew this wouldn't be the last time he had to deal with her. A few days later, Richard was grilling outside. He knew the HOA rules banned charcoal and smokers, but propane grills were allowed. As he flipped his burgers, the same ear-piercing scream rang out.
There's no grilling allowed, no open flames.
Shut up and go away. If you say one more word to me, I'll be the one calling the cops for harassment by an HOA member.
But there's supposed to be no grilling.
I'll believe you when someone else shows me that in writing.
Karen, once again, walked away in defeat. But she wasn't done. She had a plan. A few days later, the HOA leader himself showed up with the neighborhood bylaws. While Richard read through them, Katie struck up a conversation with the leader, until Karen rudely interrupted.
You're a mean person. You have no manners when talking to people.
You know I was the one holding the leash. I was standing right next to him while he was grilling. No one respects you because you don't respect anyone else.
You can't have the grill, you'll get fined. Follow the rules, or next time I'll be the one calling the cops.
Richard understood, but he wasn't backing down that easily. He had an idea. Richard went digging. He found out the HOA bylaws hadn't been updated in the state database since the 90s. That meant they weren't legally enforceable. He also discovered that grilling regulations followed national fire protection standards. Then he found something even better. The drainage ditch 10 feet from his house? Technically city property. That meant he could legally grill there, right under the HOA's nose. Richard called the city and county fire departments to confirm. They told him he didn't even need a permit, but he got one anyway, just to be safe. Armed with official permission, he set up his grill 3 feet into city property. Now he just had to wait. And sure enough, Karen didn't disappoint.
I'm sick of you breaking the rules. There's no grilling.
Richard stayed calm and polite, which only made her angrier. She reached for his cooler.
If you so much as brush a finger across my property, you will regret it.
Karen stormed off to call the cops.
Oh my God, the nerve of
20
some
minutes
people.
later, the police and the HOA leader arrived. Richard could hardly wait.
You're violating HOA rules and have been warned. I'm issuing you a ticket for disturbing the peace and illegal open flames. If you don't pack up, I'll have to arrest you.
Oh, really? Here's my city permit.
The officer's face changed as he walked over to show the HOA leader.
You can't get a city permit to grill on private property.
Exactly. My house isn't private property. It's technically city land. Here are the legal coordinates, and here's the state database showing your bylaws are unenforceable.
The officer smirked.
How long have you been planning this?
Oh, About a week.
Did you threaten Karen?
Richard played the recording of Karen's tantrum.
Well, nothing seems out of the ordinary here. You're free to go.
Can I file a complaint for HOA harassment?
Not with me, but you can with the city clerk, though I can document it for you.
Richard discovered HOA harassment was illegal and could result in jail time. Instead, he settled for having Karen and the HOA leader removed from the board. And that was the end of Karen's reign of terror. Richard kept grilling, walking Shep outside and waving at Karen every time he saw her. Neighborhood peace was restored, without an HOA tyrant in sight.